We'll definitely have, you know what else, like that back to school night, in September, we can have those things out, and people will be like,
Yeah.
like, yes, you get one, just show up to that October meeting.
That's
and you
right.
will officially be.
Are there any parents? Probably all like
I thought, I bet it's every PA meets this year, and only got these 8 Leslie sweatshirts.
Medium, I think there's some more sizes.
Okay. What size would you guys like? And what color?
Medium gray.
Medium gray?
Right here.
Done.
All right, but you want to have that camera, but then.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see if it's, we're almost here.
What colors?
There's, the gray.
It's gray, purple, and blue. With all different sizes.
Okay,
What
Gray.
size?
Okay, we should be having people log on to see us right now. I sent it through
This is a
Kimbo.
large
Wait,
array.
what does it say? Send it to Kimbo? How do I stream meeting? Yep, I already sent it. Good job, good job, good job, good job.
It's your thank you gift for coming and voting. We may not want to vote.
There's a popcorn you can do, is that right?
Yes, I have to learn how to use
I
it.
feel like.
I need the.
It's serious, it's the serious machine.
It's really getting serious here.
Yeah, but we could do a movie night and sell our popcorn and PTA on our parent teacher conference night.
A little bit, yeah.
So,
That's easy, yeah.
but you need to know how it works. Is there a night in June, there's a night in June that the incoming parents come?
Incoming parent came last Thursday.
They came last
We had accepted students night.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good turnout.
Yeah, there should
We
be.
have our highest enrollment ever
How
for an
many?
incoming group of kids.
How many?
There's 150.
Is there room for that?
No.
Oh.
But that's a really good problem to have. And there's like 10 10th graders. We always open up a few seats because there's always a few 9th graders that don't come back. And so we open a few seats for 10th graders to backfill those spots. So it's like
That's 6 classrooms, is that how you'll?
oh jeez, I'm spilling. We'll have not all those kids will show up,
Yeah, okay.
Right, so that's, I had some parents that were like super excited and then some that were like, your school's not the one that we want to get into. So, I think that if we end up with 120, because 30 go to private school or charter schools or move to Florida or anything in between, and that's about right. But that'll still be big. So I think we'll probably have a 5th section of kids, which again, getting to hire more people is a good problem to have, the more kids that show up. So, and there's some other UA schools or just other schools that got like 50 kids. That's like problematic on the other end because you have to start laying people off, you have to start accessing people.
Is there room in this school to expand if you had the people to do it?
Are we live?
We are live.
I guess
I'm not gonna answer that question right at this exact point.
All right, here we go. We'll start our final meeting of the year.
Hey.
Thanks for everybody showing up, and thanks for all you out in TV land. We're excited to kind of wrap this up for the year. And tonight, the big event is we're having an election for the executive board and also SLT. So we'll be getting to the election shortly. We also have used our Title I funds to invest in some really exciting swag to represent the school, and we're going to be giving sweatshirts to everyone, to all the attendants, people that came out all year to show their support for the PA. So just to show you that next year if you play your cards right and you show up, we're gonna have amazing gifts.
You should show off the amazing
Yeah.
gifts. You have a choice of colors in the amazing gifts.
You got purple.
Blue, and the gray one seems to be the popular one right now, right? Yeah, if you come and support us, all this will be yours.
Yeah, we really make it happen here at Maker Academy, PA. Yeah.
A couple parents on there.
All right, yeah. Okay, so we'll kick things off as we always do with a little report from our esteemed principal.
Hi, everybody. I'm Marlon's mom. Good to see you. Hey,
If you on camera, it's a good
Yeah,
you see me okay? Thanks for being out. We are down to the last, Friday, 5 days next week, seven school days left, before regions start. It's been a choppy week, right, in terms of day of school, not a day of school, day of school. Just a couple, I think, of announcements in terms of that. For everyone out there, please still send your children to school, right? Even though it's kind of a choppy, last month of school. This Friday is our Six Flags trip. So there's about 150-ish kids that are going to Six Flags, about half the staff. Everyone else will have some classes here, right? So our classes now, as of last Friday, all of our units officially ended at that point. And the teachers have updated grades. And the way that we kind of play the last 6 days of school, 7 days of school, is the grades won't drop anymore, right? They can only go up from there, which helps kids plan, right? So if they know that they're at say a 79 in a class, right? It's not gonna drop anymore. They have an opportunity to do additional assignments to boost their grades to get them up to like sort of the next level that they want to go.
And starting what day?
So last Friday was sort of the last day that there was any new assignments that were going to go, that could potentially lower a grade if a kid for some reason didn't do it or didn't score well.
Yeah.
So it's a real positive thing, especially for seniors, right? So seniors that are like borderline in terms of gotta do really well in order to be able to graduate. It helps us have, sometimes some difficult conversations with families before, say, 24 hours before graduation. Like, those aren't fun conversations to have, but we've been doing a lot better job this year, sort of getting ahead of those conversations. Our anticipated graduation rate should be right at what it was last year. So last year was 90%, this year it should be 88 or 89%, so a little bit of a dip, but still like really close to 90%, which is still 10 to 15% above the citywide average. Yeah, it feels really good. Couple of other just like quick announcements of things. If you're the parent of a freshman, Regents exams start on the 18th, right? So the last day of classes are Monday the 17th, and then there's a schedule that all kids have received that says what days they have exams. So those are the 18th, 19th, and 20th, that Thursday or Friday. Kids only come in when they have an exam, and when they're done, they're dismissed. So those are not attendance days officially. Yes.
And they should still be here normal school starting time?
If they have an exam in the morning, yes. Okay. If they have an exam in the afternoon, they show up at 12:30.
Okay.
Yeah. It's important to still know when those are.
Another Regents question. So I've heard one ninth grader report that they have one Regent exam and another one report they have two. So is that, I know that there are some, I think that there are some Regents that are like by invite, but like the ELA and the algebra would be for all ninth graders, or how does that work?
The algebra is the one exam that's for every ninth grader,
okay,
right? I guess unless they came in that exam as eighth grade, then they would take geometry. But there's definitely a math Regents exam for every ninth grader. I feel like it's like the right thing to do. For instance, some kids took the global Regents early, which that was a decision between the teacher and the kids to do that in order to try to get those. Again, we try to get as many Regents as we can done as early as possible, Which just frees up students, ideally in their junior and senior year, to not be worried about, exam requirements to graduate, things like that. A couple of other just announcements. So Erin, our Spanish teacher, she's presented, I think, a couple of times about the trip overseas next year. She put together a grant, and we were able to use some of our partners, and we got $60,000 free money to go towards some scholarships for students to be able to help offset the cost of going to London and Spain. Sorry, I should know the names of the countries to go. It's the United Kingdom and France and Spain. 2 or 3 countries next summer. Anyways, not very many kids have actually filled out the application for the free money. So please, if your kid is going, please fill out the application for the free money. It lowers what you have to fundraise yourself by multiple thousands of dollars. I think they will, but she's really trying to get this work done before the end of the school year.
Is the application online or is it a physical application?
I think both, or either way. But she's emailed it out to the kids that are going, and so the children should read their email and fill out the application. So that they
When are they leaving?
It's not till next summer, but it's in July next summer, about 13 months from now. So it should be really cool. I'm trying to think other announcements that I should share with folks. Questions from anyone? I don't really have a lot of other.
Are next year's teachers all locked in, or are you gonna be hiring over the summer?
Most are locked in. We're still looking for a math teacher and for a CTE teacher for next year. So if anyone knows any good math teachers or CTE teachers, please send them our way.
That CTE computer science or CTE design?
There's a little bit of freedom to move around. Anyone that's interested and has some experience in design or computer science, it would be interesting to talk with them and see if that could be a good fit. But for the most part, we've hired already a few teachers for next year. We have training tomorrow. Tomorrow's a citywide professional month, so those folks come to us and spend the day with us because we use that to sort of kick off the work that we're going to do for next year. So that's.
So I have a question, I don't know if you're already gonna get to it, but about the good size class we have coming in next year.
Yeah.
If that trend continues, would you be able to?
Yeah. So it would be great to expand. Our superintendent always talks about kids and families vote with their feet, meaning they go to schools that they want to be at. So the schools that end up with higher enrollment, that says something about what the school's doing, so that feels good for us. I would love to expand, right? We only have a certain number of classrooms, physical classrooms. There's only so much space that you can put in there. Our senior class this year is our lowest number of students, right? There's only 68 or 69 kids in that group. Mm-hmm. So we're losing 68 and bringing in 120 or 130. So it's just gonna feel more full in general. So that'll be fun for our 2 little hallways here. Yeah, it'd be really good. It'd be really nice to do that. So, but powers that be would have to make a decision that that's the thing to do. We are going tomorrow actually to present to all of the enrollment officers in Manhattan, so all the folks in the family welcome centers. We're going to present tomorrow to just talk about Maker. Because oftentimes when families show up to those family welcome centers and say, I want to enroll in New York City Public Schools, they meet with someone who's got a list of 50 or 60 high schools, and they look generally at which schools have openings, not, less about whether you're interested in design or computer science, and they just place kids. And so they're trying to do a better job of having those enrollment folks, specialists that meet with the families, know a little bit about the schools to be able to say, if you're interested in becoming an EMT or working on cybersecurity, Maker Academy might not be the right place, but there's a good school in the basement here that is their focus. And so, try to fill the seat, there as opposed to someplace else.
So you're going to train people to talk about the options?
Yep.
You're not gonna be talking to the families that are coming in?
No, I'm talking to like, there's like, I think there's 20 or 25 in Manhattan of these enrollment specialists that meet with the families. Both kids internally in New York City that just want to transfer, or like, you know, there's always a ton of families that will move to New York City between now and September, and are like, I'm here to enroll in school, and there's clearly a wide variety of options for where they can go.
Yeah.
So that will be hopefully a good experience. Like our reason for going is less about like, we don't have enough kids. It's just making sure that we're getting, you know, kids that are generally interested in what we're doing here at the school.
Yeah.
If they're like, I don't like computers at all, then it can be a tricky transition for you.
Yeah.
And less about like the coding, more just like, we use Google Classroom. We use an online grading system, like some things that are, I think, becoming more than normal in New York City, but also make us a little bit different. Well,
Yeah. And math-based, that's a whole.
yeah, there's a lot of components that sort of, you know, separate us a little bit. I shared out an article actually a week or so ago that was sort of highlighted in some publications around the city that were talking about how we do high school differently. And that's something that I'm really proud of what we've done here over the last 5 years. Are we perfect? Far from perfect. I would never say that, but we're doing it, we're moving in the right direction. I'm actually inviting several students tomorrow to come to school to meet with our staff so that we can actually have more student voice in some of the initiatives that we're starting next year. I think I'm pretty great, but also getting the kids in there to really tell me whether the things that we're talking about, thinking about are going to jive well or not. It's something I want to do a better job of next year, is getting more student voice into the decision-making processes.
Yeah.
Or no better way than just to invite them in tomorrow and actually sit with our staff while the staff are being trained on stuff. So we'll see how the staff feels about that tomorrow, but kind of forcing that on it. Yeah.
Do you have here like student elections, like student government, there's a president and a secretary?
Yes, but it's never really got off the ground.
Okay.
Like, does it exist? Yes, but it's never really got off the ground. So one of my ideas for next year is to start to expand on a student advisory council, which is something that our superintendent did this year with 10 of his schools. And my idea for next year is to have like one kid from each advisory meet with me once a month, which would be about 20 kids, and just as sort of like an open forum for me to either plant seeds, but also to like ask them questions about things that are working well or not working well. So a little pizza over lunch generally do the trick in terms of getting them here and talking about.
Ways of making them talk.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Food generally works pretty well in terms of high school kids. Yeah, I feel like there's some. Oh, last thing that I'll say before I turn it over is Andy spoke about the elections tonight, right? So there are some elections for members of the executive board for the Parent Association, and then also for school leadership team. Just a little pitch for school leadership team. That's the group that meets right before this meeting, right? So we meet from 4:30 to 5:30. So right before these meetings on the first Wednesday of each month. And that's the group that works on writing the school goals, right? We review the budget each year. We review all the academic data, right? Of how our kids are performing. We look at attendance data, suspension data, all the different types of data. And that's really the governing and decision-making body of the school. So we have to have an equal number of parents and an equal number of staff members. PA president is automatically included on that. So we do need 3 brave parents that will show up and spend an hour with us once a month before. Jane Fine is Abe's mom, and she's been on SLP the last couple years. She couldn't be here tonight, but she definitely wants to still participate in that, and her name is on the ballot. I can give her a more ringing endorsement for being a part of that group.
Purpose, we're looking for, we have Jane, we have the president,
Whoever
could be on it.
Yeah,
Are they considered a parent?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah. And
so we're looking for 2 more people.
And
Yeah.
will we have another name on the ballot?
Drew, yeah, so Drew Keeshan, Karen's dad emailed today and said that he would be very interested as well. So as long as those run unopposed, we might just need to find one other brave soul that might want to volunteer their time.
Yeah.
Andy.
Oh, yeah.
To participate, or anyone else, but I would
Yeah.
also nominate Andy, who's been a part of that team this year as well. Cool.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, that's great.
That's it for me.
Okay.
It's been a really good parent association this year. Looking forward to keeping it going. Cool.
Me too.
Yeah.
Thanks, Luke.
Thanks for coming.
Of course. Yeah.
Bye, Mom.
All right, so we did talk about the sweatshirts, in case anyone's joining us. This is the stuff that you too can get if you show up next year. We're gonna have a blast, and everybody in this room is getting a free sweatshirt tonight. So next year, we show up. It's gonna be even more exciting. I think with that, we can, we don't have minutes from last month, but we basically just teed up everybody for this big night for the election. So we can go ahead and vote. Someone's saying there's some questions from.
I just replied to the chat because I saw that Debbie asked whether the classes will be dismissed, whether we're keeping the same schedule next year. And we are, right? So the Wednesday will still have the early dismissal on Wednesdays next year.
Okay.
I realized I need to do a better job of checking that when I'm done each time.
So same schedule.
Yeah.
Same school schedule next year.
Yep.
And professional development day on Wednesday.
On that Wednesday.
So half day.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
Great.
Yeah, keep the questions coming, and we're going to perfect this forum next year as well. So
There's 5 or 6 people on. That's actually.
All right.
All right.
All right. Bye, Luke.
Can people vote online? No?
Okay. So if you showed up and you show up next year, you'll get a sweatshirt and you'll be able to vote for the executive board, and that's really how we grow this thing. So yeah. So we're gonna vote now, and we'll do this quick, and we'll see how we do.
Okay, so we have some ballots. At the moment, I'm gonna read off who's on the ballots and then we'll pass them around. At the moment, everybody who is on here is running unopposed. So, I will read who's on here, but if there's somebody here, and you have to be here, but if there's somebody here who also wants to run so that people can duke it out, this is a last shot to put your name on the ballot. So
here's the if there are more than one person, they'll come up and they'll pitch their platform, their perspective, how they're gonna handle the office, and then
Okay. So right now we have a nominee for secretary, Fanny Castro. We have nominee for treasurer is Owen Evans. We have, we have nominee for vice president next year is Andy Sheldren, sorry. And nominee for president is Evie Raybeck, that's me. And then for SLT, we have the 3 parent nominees. We have Jane Fine, Drew McKeechin, and Andy Sheldren. So is there anybody else here who would like to run for one of these positions? Everybody here seems really relieved that they don't have to run for the position. Okay. Let the record show. So what we're going to do is, we do need to have ballots and collect ballots, so I'm going to pass out ballots. And Parent Association ballot is on the front, and SLT ballot is on the back. And please, you need to pick one person from each category, and on the back you need to choose 3 people, which should be pretty easy. Who's missing them? We get to vote 2. But Benjamin doesn't get to vote, I'm really sorry. Myrna, you have one? I'm gonna fill one out.
Everybody has their own?
Okay. And then where's the ballot box?
It's, yeah.
Okay, here's the ballot box. And And then I believe Venus needs to count the ballots. Not a particularly suspenseful election. Do we have everybody's votes?
Yeah.
Okay. We need to give this to an external party to count the votes, which we will do, so I'll be right back. Who's gonna go to Venus? Venus, you have to count the votes.
Got
it. One.
Okay.
While we're waiting for the tally,
While we're waiting for the tally.
we wanted to, again, talk about the sweatshirts that we generated from Title I money this year. So these go to the dedicated parents that showed up this year to PA. We also managed to secure a professional popcorn maker, which we will use next year and parlay that into some great fundraising events. Community building events, and we also secured a coffee maker. If you were here, you could smell the aroma of the fresh coffee. So we'll have snacks next year, we'll have coffee, and we'll have sweatshirts. And what more can you ask for? And an amazing school. Yeah.
People. So while the many ballots are being tabulated, I did want to catch everybody up on one of the initiatives that we were trying to do. If you remember, we had started a Dave & Buster's fundraiser where we were trying to raise money for the PA by selling Dave & Buster's power cards, and then we get to keep half. We really did not get traction on that. So I don't know if it was just like a bad time of year, or maybe we didn't explain it well, or whatever, you know, people are busy. So I think what we're gonna do is put a pause on that. We're just gonna push the pause button because now it's June already. And then we'll revisit it in September, October. Maybe like the doldrums of winter is a great time to get everybody to go to Dave & Buster's, and maybe we'll have some traction. So thank you everybody who thought about participating. Hold that thought, and then in the fall we will reignite that thought. All right. Where did Venus go? Is she counting ballots? Someone's counting them.
There's a hanging chad.
There's a hanging chad.
We also created this handsome banner for promotional purposes, which we'll also employ next year. So it's really coming together. The PA and Maker Academy in general is really, as Luke said, lots of press. You guys see that, what he sent out? Lots of exciting attention happening around UA Maker. So we look forward to an even bigger year next year.
And you know, we can also talk about, because you and I were both at, there was an event last month that was a fundraiser for the kids that the PA didn't put together, the school put it together at that bar. I forgot what the name was.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
But if parents were all invited, and if you get a chance next year, do come, because there were a lot of kids there, and the kids showed off some of their work, and there were a lot of other parents there to meet, and a bunch of the teachers came, and some of the school sponsors came as well, and it was just a really fun social event with a lot of booze.
Yeah.
Not for the kids.
We raised like significant.
The school raised a lot of money doing that, and that was just from the ticket sales to enter alone. So it was really a lot of fun, and we recommend next year that people go.
Yeah.
Okay. I will go check on, but we'll get a drum roll going while I check on.
So the coffee.
There's some steam coming out.
I hear it, I hear it.
A bunch of highly paid professionals in the room, we can just about make it go.
We'll check the questions and see if anyone's.
Okay. Okay, we do have the results. So, thank you everybody for voting and participating. So you did vote in the slate. So we have, Fanny Castro is our new secretary. And Owen Evans will be our treasurer again. And Andy's gonna be VP next year. He'll try something different. And I will be president next year. And for SLT, we have Jane Fine. And we have Drew Peachin. And we have Andy as parent. And the committee president is automatically on, so I will be on there as well. And what I think we should do now is say a very big thank you and very heartfelt, we will miss you, and goodbye to our outgoing secretary, Myrna D. Matos. Myrna is leaving because her daughter is graduating. So congratulations. And thank you for everything that you've done for the PA, and you will be missed, but onward to bigger and better things.
Absolutely. My daughter has a housing seat at SUNY Broome. So
nice.
Great work.
All right. So does anybody in here have any questions about anything? We might not know the answer, but does anybody have questions?
Where is graduation?
Ooh, that's a really good question. Venus, do you know where graduation is?
Yeah, graduation is here this
Ooh.
year in the auditorium.
Okay.
Do you guys have a speaker? It's like the chancellor.
I
Do you know
am
who's
sure that we have a speaker. I am unsure of who that speaker is though. A good person to reach out to might be either Ivy Anderson or Luke.
coming? Okay, just wondering.
No, that's
No
a
problem.
great question.
Do you want to speak?
Oh, no.
It's Matthew Washington. Luke just put it in the chat.
Is that who
It's
is that?
Matthew Washington. Give me 1 second. I can't multitask. Luke, are you here somewhere?
He's like everywhere.
He's definitely everywhere. Matthew Washington is going to be our speaker. He has been a huge supporter and contributor to UA Maker. He's also the deputy borough president.
Wow.
And all eyes are watching.
Okay,
Very
awesome.
nice.
Awesome. So can parents like deliver a message to the graduates, or has that ever been done?
We only had one graduation. It was last year. I don't remember if we had a parent get up and speak.
What about in the yearbook? Is there a section? Is there?
I'm not sure. There is a yearbook.
Okay.
I'm not sure. That'd probably be a better question for Ms. Margarita.
Wow, graduates, exciting stuff.
What did you mean by,
So just to deliver a message of encouragement to the graduates.
in what format? Like live, you're saying?
At graduation?
I mean, like a single parent doing a talk.
Yeah, just kind of like delivering a message to the graduates.
Oh, okay. So I guess that would have been like last year when the parents gave the rose when the graduates walked off. It was like a
I
form
remember
of,
that happening. Yes.
yes, it was like a yellow rose or something like that. And his form of expressing,
Like,
good luck in the next chapter of your life.
yes, yeah, something, I guess something, that would be, yeah, something close to or resembling what I'm talking about. Or like just a parent, like maybe one of us, or I don't know, giving them a message, like,
In a video?
no, alive.
So like somebody to get up on the stage and
Basically a
like
speaker.
say something.
Just say something of
Something-
encouragement to them, kind of like the speaker that you're talking about, but a parent, coming from a parent. I don't know.
That's a good idea.
Not like a speaker, like I wouldn't be the speaker. Of
Right,
the hour.
right.
I'm just saying, I just want to deliver a message to the graduates.
So 2 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. Just like a little.
Who plans the evening or the?
I'm pretty sure it would be Ivy. Ivy Anderson.
Okay.
I'm not positive. I can get back to you on that, but I think she was on the planet last year, so I would check in with her.
Okay. But it's exciting.
It is.
exciting. Does anybody online have any questions, since you're sitting there?
How many online viewers do we have?
Tonight we have 9.
Ooh.
And Ivy is in fact in charge of graduation.
Okay.
Confirmed.
Okay.
You can definitely shoot her an email and like
Do that.
share your idea. It's always good to share your ideas.
Okay.
Well, if nobody else has any questions, do we have any other business?
No, we don't have a guest speaker tonight. We did have guest speakers all year. We'll probably continue some of that next year, and helps to understand the school better, and maybe we can get some feedback from the regular attendance of the meetings. You guys have any guidance
The speakers?
Yeah, or just some general comments on.
Yeah, I thought the speakers were very helpful because it gave us a chance to ask curriculum questions or just get a sense for, it wasn't always the teacher that each of our children had,
Yeah.
but it gave us some insight into the program and what the curriculum was for those classes, so I thought it was a good use of our time.
Great.
We'll do more of that next year.
Yeah.
And we'll take some ideas on what kinds of speakers, because they won't always be teachers. Maybe we'll have somebody come in and do, executive function or stress relief or something like that.
Yeah, the counselor,
Yeah,
the college prep,
Yeah.
any of those functions.
Yeah, sounds good tonight.
When do we happen to have the minutes of last meeting?
Anything that was glaringly from your experience in other schools, or any ideas that we could add to next year? Anything we can.
Things that I have a daughter in college now, that some of the things that were big draws for PTA meetings, like, there would be lightly attended, swag, definitely. They would be lightly attended except when there was like an outside speaker talking about college prep.
Okay.
So somebody who says, I've done this for a lot of kids, and these are all mechanics of what you need to do to get prepared. And so 11th and 12th grade parents would show up in droves to listen to that kind of thing. So, it might be something good to do early in the year, just so people get exposed to the parent association in general.
Yeah.
That might increase engagement a little bit.
So maybe like speakers from like different colleges, you mean like,
Well, I guess the person that I've seen in the past has been, it was the same person who came twice to a school, and it was just somebody who has, as a job, has helped people navigate the college entrance and costs and financial aid and things like that. And financial aid is very, it's a tricky one for a lot of people, and any guidance that's given is helpful, no matter how much you need it or don't need it. It's still a mystery to a lot of people. So somebody who can just simplify it and say these are the parts of it, and this is
Deadlines and FAFSA and all that. Yes.
And then a lot of Q&A, because the parents all have questions that everybody else is interested in the answers to. So I think that's.
well, they definitely, what I want to say, because my daughter's a senior, I want to say that they do that for, like, there's actually like senior, they have several actually, where seniors and their parents are involved in like a Q&A, someone is doing like a presentation of what is kind of like a play-by-play of what needs to be expected when they're starting the college process, financial aid. I mean, it's not only financial aid. Financial aid is a big chunk of it, but there's also like so many other, even before financial aid, like it's even finding out what college you want to go to, or what do you want to explore in terms of career, or what are your current interests and how can they speak to maybe a career path in college or a major in college, So those are all, even like before all of that, like concrete stuff comes into play, those are all things that kids start, there can be a conversation about it. Even in ninth grade, I feel like kids should be having conversations about that, to kind of guide them and be able to make informed decisions, not just be like, oh, my friend's going to this college, also I want to go, what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that would be good to bring to the parents because there's so many parents for so many different grades. And it can help every grade, a parent from every grade to know, this is what in ninth grade, maybe these are the, line items you should be looking at or exploring with your child. And then in 10th grade, maybe you can have this conversation or,
Yeah, sure.
But
That's great, yeah, and I think you're right, early in the year, September, October, that's all really perfect timing, people are starting to apply, and, Okay, that's a great suggestion. All right.
All right. Well, I guess we will adjourn, the meeting is 6:56 and we are closed.
All right.
So,
All right,
thanks
thanks a
everyone.
lot. Yeah, we'll see you next year, and we'll make this even better.
Yes, absolutely. Bye.
Safety company, she making company.
How do you turn this on?
End
End stream. I'm gonna click end stream.
I would say yes.
End